Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life where you are? Hope everything is good. It is super late here, but I'm going to get this episode up before midnight. Darn it, because I don't like missing. But I had a busy day, very busy day. It's Keely's birthday today, so had to do a little celebration with her and stuff. But yesterday, when we got this in the mail, for those of you who aren't aware, I received a Mavic Mini from a friend who bought it off of my Amazon wish list. And I'm extremely thankful. I was a little bit taken aback, like this is an extremely expensive gift, but here it is. And I was hoping yesterday, before we opened the package, I knew what was in it. I was hoping to do an unboxing and kind of maybe show off a little bit of footage or something, but it came late for one, and I ended up having a little bit stronger of an emotional reaction than I expected, so I didn't even bother opening it until the show was over and I went about my business. So I did get it out last night, and I did turn it on in the house and had a near disaster, but everything's fine. Nothing happened. Thankfully, I had a momentary stroke of genius and corrected the situation before something bad happened. So today I was like, well, still have the cough. I thought today I'll open it on camera. We'll take it outside. We'll do some flying, and we'll show it off. Woke up and there was like an inch of snow. So I didn't think I was going to get to take it out today, but I did, and I will show you some footage in a little bit. But let me show you what's in here first, and then we'll talk about that. This is the just base Mavic kit. It doesn't come with anything special. There is a Fly More kit, which come with like 3 extra batteries and a special like 3-bank battery charger and a bunch of extra propellers and stuff. This is the basic kit, which comes with a USB cable, which is very confusing, and I'll tell you about that in a second. A controller to fly the drone, and the drone. And that's basically it. I mean, there are extra propellers, there are extra controller knobs, there's some extra screws for the propellers, and some extra cables for whatever type of phone you have. But that's it. That's what's in the box. It doesn't even come with a brick to charge with. This is a micro USB, not USB-C, but that's fine. And the odd part about this is it charges the drone plugging into the back, no problem. The controller, from what I understand, this is kind of like DJI's standard controller. It works with most of their drones. The port that you charge the controller on is also the same port that you connect to your phone, and it's square. It's not shaped at all like a USB Mini, but a USB Mini fits it. So if you get this thing and you're confused, the USB Mini fits this, but it's not shaped like a USB Mini. I was a little concerned about that, but whatever. So this is it. This is what's in this package, and I mean it's smaller than my hand. Once deployed, it opens up this way. You fold the legs out, and there you go. You've got a little footprint. And this is the reason I wanted this particular drone, is the size. For one, I have no intention of being like a aerial photographer. For two, I would like it to be as portable as possible. I don't want to have to carry an extra backpack to carry a drone around. And here's the thing. The reason why I didn't own one of these is because this is a very specific tool, right? This, though it's tiny in size and looks kind of... It actually looks... I'm going to say the word cheaper, not monetarily. It looks less well constructed than the $50 drone you can go buy at Walmart. But this is 10 times that price for a whole lot of reasons. And that is the fact that this is not a toy, right? I mean, it's a toy, but it's not a toy. This isn't a very, very sophisticated flying machine. And this is the first quadcopter I have flown in about 8 years. Back, like, probably 2012 or so, 2013. I don't remember when it happened, but there was kind of when quadcopters really started to become a thing. You could go get like $100 quadcopters that you could fly around, and they didn't have cameras on them. They were just quadcopters. You could get a couple. You could get some that had cell phone cameras, but they were static, just pointing forward kind of thing, and they recorded on an SD card. You couldn't see what they were doing, and they were like $100. And they were very difficult to fly because they came with a remote control where you had to set trim. So if you launched the thing and it was drifting, you'd have to set trim to make it drift the other way. And if it was drifting back, you'd have to get this thing all trimmed out so that it would hover in place, and then you could start to fly it. And when you started to fly it, it had no built-in stability. It had nothing. It just kind of went wherever, and you had to try to manhandle this drone, and it was very difficult. This is basically a cell phone with wings. This thing has massive amounts of computing power. It has GPS. It has downward-facing cameras so it can sense the ground below it. It has pitch and yaw and all sorts of sensors on board to help it maintain its position. And flying it is dead simple. You turn the thing on, you set it down, you hit a button, you put your phone into the thing, you hit a button that says take off, it rises up about maybe 4 feet and just hovers and just waits for you to do something. And you can say, this is my home position, go. And you can fly this thing around. It has a whole bunch of presets which are really cool. Like you can point it at you while it's flying and say track me, and then you'll see a little like box around you, and you can say, you know, take a droney is what it's called, and that's the shot that you see everybody take where it like backs up and flies away from you real fast, and it'll just do that automatically. Or you can make it just circle you. It'll just fly in circles around you perpetually until you tell it to stop. You can make it kind of do some automatic stuff, and then you can fly this thing off, like, it says kilometers. I don't know that I would trust that, but you could fly this thing off way beyond your line of sight, and then hit a button, and it'll just fly itself back. It'll just come back to where it was and land, and you're done. And so while this is a tiny form factor, a tiny, super lightweight shell, I think it actually weighs less than the remote. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it does. It's also extremely sophisticated and very expensive. You know, this is not a toy that you launch and if it wrecks, you go, oh. No, if it wrecks, you go, whoa. You know, that's a big deal. And the reason I was never going to buy it for myself is because it's an extremely specialized tool, right? It's a tool for taking aerial photography or taking videos of flying, and that's not something that you really need unless you're going to make video. Unless you're going to make like movie shots. You want to be able to do cinematic shots like cranes and dollies, but you don't have the equipment. You can accomplish it with this. This camera will do 1080p at 60 frames a second. It'll do 2.7K at 30 frames a second. It'll capture really nice stuff. Hopefully I've been showing you some bits and pieces. Super well, super clean. It's very, very nice. And it flies like a dream. I mean, it's so simple to fly that it's unbelievable that we can accomplish so much with such a tiny little package. I'm really glad I have it, and the reason that I actually wanted it, and the reason that I accepted the gift, and when, you know, I kind of knew it was going to happen, and I was like, well, whatever. If you buy it for me, you buy it for me. And I'm not going to tell you no, because if that's what brings you joy, then great. But the reason is, like I said earlier, this is a very specialized tool, and it's used in very specialized ways. And I think that for me, 2020 is going to be a little bit of a different year. I think that I think some things are going to kind of fall into place for me that I hope means that I can kind of put some energy back into things that I haven't been putting a whole lot of energy into. And one of those things is YouTube. And I think some things are gonna be able to get some stuff done that I've wanted to get done for a very long time here, and try to stretch my boundaries and push myself to maybe make some new stuff instead of just constantly rehashing old things. We'll see. This is one of those tools that when you get it, you want to use it, and I think that might be the push that I needed. Maybe. How was your day? I hope you have a great day. Great weekend is what I meant to say. I think I'm going to have a great weekend. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I will see you on Monday. According to bestlife.com, North Korea and Cuba are the only places on the planet that you cannot buy Coca-Cola.